Mix and seal. Hey guys, what's up? I am just making some sinkers. So I'm planning to do some fishing for small stuff pretty soon. And these are used with bait. But pretty much what it is just a way for me to use these small ball sinkers as something that I could drop. Lots of ways to do this, but this is how I do things. So I am basically making a. Now there are ready-made versions of this, bank sinkers and all this, but not the size that I want. So kind of have to make my own. This is 10 grams, so still kind of light. But you can see there, it's actually quite neat. And hello, Lure Walker. And, for these sort of things, you can't really buy them here. So kind of forced to make stuff like this. And, if you're using lures and stuff, this could be used as well. You could use this as Jika rigs and stuff like that. I bought like 20 for like $2 and stuff, and just thought that I'd put the wires because you can't really buy stuff like this. I mean, you could buy, but there's the shape isn't the round stuff. So with me, even with the shape, I kind of like this round thing. Gives it a little bit of action, the round. Whereas a teardrop one that you can buy, um, they're not really that nice. So this one, at least, I'm guaranteed that they're nice. And the wires often of the ready-made ones, they're pretty bad. They corrode real fast. So kind of doing this. I just went live to see exactly who was here too. Just thinking that maybe it could be something that would be useful for people as well. So basically what I'm doing is just twisting some wire, right? And then like the tip right there, you need to kind of make it so it's like that. So there's a hole, right? Then I just put it here, twist it on. What happens when you twist this on this thing? It's it kind of goes in there and you can't twist it off. So, and it looks real nice. I mean, this one I kind of cut too long there. So if that bothers you, you can just twist it off, right? Cut it off. There we go. So that should be just enough so that you can twist it on, and it's not going to be obvious. All right, there we go. So, I mean, that looks clean, man. See, I mean, if you have damage, you can just, it's lead, so actually kind of easy to flatten it. And it's a sinker that I could use on the bottom. I'm gonna be fishing for like small fish with bait on ultralight. Well, not really ultralight gear, but something light tackle. There we go. It's basically just above ultralight, and 10 grams is really good for it, right? And a bit of a current where I'm going to be fishing. But more importantly, it's to get the bait down fast, because right now there's like a shitload of these small um, marauding queenfish, and those fuckers, they eat almost anything, and you're dropping shit down for brim, and they attack it. No bueno. All right. So as you can see there, with the wire twisting, with this vice grip, you're able to cut it like super nice and clean, right? See, look at that. That's super clean. So that when you insert, right, you twist it in. You can actually do this like super clean. I'll show you. Okay, this is like close to perfect. Look at that. See, no damage, right? So it's the secret is vice grip, okay, and flat nose pliers. That's it. I love tackle making. I love tackle craft. So this is one of the reasons why I'd rather make my own stuff than buy. Right? Kind of handy with wire. With this form tool, makes it very easy. And after a while, you kind of get quite fast at doing things. And just kind of are able to make like something decent, Like for this stuff, it doesn't have to be beautiful. And I always say it just has to work. Why? Alrighty. Okay, see? Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work. So that wire wasn't perfect, right? But it doesn't matter because you're gonna insert it there anyway. So look at that. See? So like in a few minutes I have like I have 5. Oh no, it's 6. So that's cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is cool. So I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I didn't know there was 13 in that. Really? I thought it was only 12. So, how come there's 13? Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, okay. So like 24 of these. And then the others I'm going to leave just like that so that I can actually use it as a, what do you call this? A sliding sinker. But I have to say, these are small brim, right? And these are the type that they don't eat jigs. So or soft plastics even. So I'm gonna use bait for them. And this is one of those fish that my wife absolutely loves. So I'm gonna be fishing for them for food. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna be what do you call this? I'm gonna be filming, but currently here in Qatar, any online apps where I can buy JDM stuff or maybe um cars. You know what? I actually don't know Qatar. Not too sure. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure about Qatar, unfortunately. Friends of mine actually buy here in Dubai. So, they basically have things shipped over to Qatar. So I'm not too sure if there are shops there. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Whoop. There we go. Let's not tempt. Or probably two more twists or something like that. Tighten this sucker. Yeah, probably two more twists and call it done. I have friends there, right? And they send for stuff in Dubai. So I'm thinking probably if there are shops there, they wouldn't be um, complete. So I can't help you there. Okay. Yeah. See, look at that. That wire work was shoddy at best, right? But as soon as you put it inside, that's it. Now another thing, there's people that freak out when they see that the wire, see, it's not even, right? So there's a way to do that, so it's even. So let's cut some wire here. Okay, cut this piece of shit there. And then what you do, so when you're about to twist, you can actually put a bit of distance, right, before the twist starts. So instead of actually having it bite um, right at the eye like that, you make it so that you have a little bit like that. All right, so you have it bite. Okay, you have it bite right there. So you have a bit of distance. Now, what you do is kind of fold this forward like so. This one like that. And, then you twist. All right, so then what happens? I'm going to show you. All right. God, that's tough. Here we go. All right, so now this is what it looks like, right? You have your eye like that, and then you have your twists. So when you take this, insert it, okay, you'll have your eye even. See? So some people, kind of like it like this, that it's even. For me, I don't freaking care. You see, this one has a twist, right? You see that twist? See? Whereas this one's just straight flat. So it kind of depends. As far as I know, a lot of people say Digitaka is one of the best online JDM store, but I'm not quite sure if they ship. They ship in Qatar. So you mean to say you want to buy? I thought in Qatar itself. But yeah, Digitaka should be. Yeah, Dubai seems closer and a better option, but I don't know about the store. Barracuda. You go to Facebook or Instagram, you look for Barracuda Fishing Equipment, and they have their number, their WhatsApp, and you can order through WhatsApp. They just launched their website, so that's an option as well. But the website is new, so it's not 100% there yet. But yeah, Barracuda Dubai, barracudadubai.com, one word. So that's a possibility. Digitaka is also like pretty good. Digitaka ships everywhere, so we buy from. I used to buy a lot from Digitaka, and you can save a bit of money there. The problem with Digitaka, and this is something that someone I know actually just recently found out. He bought a rod from there. It was cheap, and nice and everything, but then he broke it. And then, since he bought it in Digitaka, the local dealer can't really help him, even if it was his fault. And then, he's wanting to buy like another piece of it, right? Just the top section. But since he bought it with Digitaka, then he has to talk to Digitaka, not the local dealer. And this is a major craft rod, so it's just that the model obviously is not something that was imported, and he quickly found out why you deal with the local dealers. So take note though when you're buying stuff online. There will be instances where you need the dealer's help, and the dealer won't help you because you didn't buy from them. So it happens, but it doesn't happen often. So it's a balancing act of sorts. Just take note. It's not something that you should be super concerned about. It's just that for him, in this particular instance, it was a bait casting rod. He bought it off Digitaka, and two, four, five, six, seven, eight. That should be enough. Nine. Hold on. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Probably one more, so it's 10. So I'll have like 10 of each. And of all the things to happen, the damn thing actually went in my trash. So it's kind of hard because it's always going to go to the ah, yes. At least it didn't go down to the bottom. Probably one more, right? I don't have wire anymore. Let me cut some wire. And then the rest I can just like rig normally. So take this wire here. Because you know what? There are some rigs that you can actually do. You could only do if you're making stuff, right? Like this one, right? Now, check this out. So I'm going to do this, right? How am I going to do this actually? So, okay. That's going to be tough. Before I started, I made a mistake already. So make a long one. This is going to be an interesting rig right here because it's something that you could do only if you're making your own stuff. Right now, for this particular one, what I want to do is have a wire that goes down like so, right? Okay, so I got it. Okay, so this will be a stopper of sorts, and I'm gonna make this flat. This is something interesting. So I'm gonna do it like that. And then I'm gonna be making like a screw of sorts, so it goes out the other end. You'll see what I mean after. All right, so go like that. And then all right, there we go. Cut that thing. There we go. So basically what we're doing is just so we can put this in. I screwed up. All right. Let me do this better because I feel like an idiot here. Right. Okay. Okay. It's gonna be funny because if this proves to be kind of effective, but your gear in Digitaka, does it come with tax? It depends on the place. So Dubai was tax free, right? So for me, we didn't pay tax, but there were import charges. So now it's a different story because we have sales tax, and what happens is when it arrives, you have to pay the sales tax. But I think that for the sales tax, it's actually kind of like it depends how much the product is. So before uh, before the sales tax, there we go. So now you have that, right? And it's not gonna pull out maybe. Have to kind of be careful with the ship. What I want to do is make an eye and then make like a spreader. You know, I've done that before. Just that this wires are actually kind of difficult to work with. Um, so yeah, TARS. What happens is that the the country will have um, customs charge. 100%, it will have customs charge, and then um, if what do you call this? If it doesn't have, I don't know if Qatar has sales tax, but if it has sales tax, they will actually charge you um, after a certain percentage. So it's not that it's tax free. You know what I mean? It's they'll find a way to tax you. Put it that way, and it's not called tax. It'll be called something else. But they're clever that way. Or they smartened up because a lot of people don't buy local. You know, a lot of people actually buy from places like Digitaka because, well, obviously it's cheaper, or you could get a better deal. It's not necessarily cheaper. It's just that you can get some sort of a better deal in one shape or form. You know what I mean? So it could be that the pricing would be better, but because of the tax, and it could be it's they don't call it tax, they call it duty or whatever, and they'll charge you like 5% or 10. It depends on the pricing of the item as well. So if it's above, like for us here, if it's above 1,000 dirhams, they'll charge you a percentage. But if it's not, then um, look at this fucking cheap piece of shit wire, man. See, it unravels. This is why I don't like it. So now, how the hell am I gonna? You know what? Let's just do it the regular way because that whole idea with the thing was actually nice and all, but maybe I could still do it, right? Yeah, maybe I could still do it. Just go like this, just like that. No, I can't because both strands have to be like on the inside. So that sucks, but what to do, yan eh. Digitaka is nice if you don't have a local dealer on something, and it if it's an item that will not break. Okay, so stuff like reels, I would agree. You can probably get a better deal with Digitaka, but if it breaks and you have to claim warranty and stuff like that, then you claim warranty um, with Digitaka, and sometimes it's very difficult to do that. It's the headache would be the rods. The rods absolutely a fucking headache. If the rod you buy just happens to break, like this friend of mine, right? And it's so funny because he came to me and he was like, maybe you can help me. And I mean, even if I want to, it's not like I could tell like the shop to help the guy, but then he didn't buy the gear there, and that's a dealer function, you know. So even if you want to help, sometimes you can't. So sometimes people trying to save money, uh, they end up spending more just because of their choices. when the time comes that you don't support the local dealers, um, and then the time will come that you're gonna have to either claim warranty or stuff like that. Then, you have to run the risk also of not being serviced. I think that's just one of those things when it comes to the fishing gear and people want to save. Sadok, hello. Alrighty, so for these, uh, I'm gonna take one of the rod and reels that I'm gonna use it on, and then I'm gonna show you my rigs. Where is that thing? I have one here. I'm sure. I think. Where is that thing? That's weird. It's not here. I could have sworn one was here. It was a red rod. Ah, there it is. Fork and egg. So this one right here. Now this is like a stiff rod, okay, and it's not that stiff, but basically this is a lure is 1/4 to 1 ounce. So it's like uh, what's hold on, let me do the math for you guys. So um 28 divided by 4. Okay, so the range for this is like 7 grams to 28, 7 to 28 grams, and it's a relatively stiff rod. Now the reel I'm gonna use this. It's gonna be either of these two. Okay, so it's either this or this one. But guess what? I haven't used the Daiwa for a really long time. So, uh, hi, Sadok. Yeah. Hello, Leonardo. So, there we go. Something like that would work. Okay. So, I haven't used Daiwa for a really long time. So, I'm going to use this. So, the leader that I have on here is like really thin. It's like 4 pound test, and which is fine, you know. But the reason why I'm going with this is because the the fish that I'm gonna be going after, these are nasty fucks, and they are actually living near pilings and stuff. They're not awfully big, but man, the last time I went there, which was like what yesterday, that's why I've been quiet, right? Canon. Yeah, cool, man. That's good to know. It's almost edging line and leader. Yes, it's actually one of my edging reels. So or ultralight. So basically, um, what I need is a stiff rod and light line because I'm using quite light. Uh, what do you call this? Sinkers. This is 10 grams, right? And it's gonna be like a Carolina rig. Hold on, let me get everything. I want to prepare stuff because when I when I went there, I hardly had time. So The first rig I'm going to use is something that I've used there already, and it worked really well. I need a small swivel, right? This is 4 pound test, and my leader is going to be 6. Very simple rig, and I'm going to be using small pieces of shrimp. Now, the last time I was there, because the rod was too soft, um, I got hammered, and the fish basically went to the pilings, and that was it. After that, I was screwed, man. So this is a rig that I used in the Palm, and you know what? Normally you'd put a bead there. I don't, because I found that they actually get attracted to Leonardo. That's a whole different thing. This is I'm using this for bait, very situational. But normally it's like this, okay? Uh, just as a matter of what do you call this? Clarity. All right. Yeah. Hold on. Let me put you guys up like that. All right. Okay. Now, very simple. Okay. Um, this one has a stiff tip. And if I was using this, I would be using this for lures. I would be using this for lures that have resistance in the water. Okay? So all lures that have a little bit of resistance, or creates resistance, like take for example lures with lips, lures with faces, cupped faces. Okay? Um, and you're talking about toppers, you're talking about jerk baits, diving, minnows, you have crankbaits. All of those require a stiff tip. Okay? For lures that don't have lips, like stick baits, jigs, actually, uh, vertical jigs, stick baits, even soft plastics and stuff, you want a soft tip. So this is why your shore jigging rods are very good for soft plastics. You have it's good for soft plastics. You could use it for stick baits, uh, poppers that have small faces, right? Angled faces, um, stick baits, sinking, and floating stick baits. Those are good for your shore jigging rod because it has a softer tip. Now, the reason being is if you have a stiff tip, right, and you have a jig, what happens is when you move it, it tumbles because the tip is stiff. Now, if you have a popper and you have a soft tip, what happens is that when you try to pop it, it will bend. It will bend, and your energy is wasted on that bend because it's not going to move the popper much. It will bend the rod tip. Okay? So if you have a stiff tip, what happens is that it won't bend much, and it will bend it won't bend the tip much, but it will move the lure. And it's the same with lip plugs. It's the same with what do you call this, deep divers. Okay, so while you're reeling, okay, it could be overhead, it could be spinning. So when you cast out, you reel it in for the diving or the crankbait, diving plugs and stuff, what happens is that it dives, right? A lot of the energy would be spent bending the tip before it dives. Whereas if you have a stiff tip, when you reel in, it will just bend a little bit, and all of your energy would be transferred to do whatever, have it pop, have it dive, in lures that have lips, well, they'll make it swim, right? So it's very, if you think about it, it's actually quite straightforward. All right. Now, So these are the hooks that I use. It's like size 6. So um, and any bigger than this, I don't catch it, which is weird, right? So I have a size 6 hook right there, and the brand doesn't matter, right? Because it's bait fishing. But here's a trick. All right, here's a trick that I use, and I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to like use the same trick. Maybe in your locality, it would be something that you would be able to use. Maybe not. So my leader is going to be like 6-pound test. All right, here. So this is 6, and look, I got this from Daiso. It's not expensive stuff. Again, bait fishing, you know. Okay, so let's cut off a good. All right. I am going to tie this on. All right. And it's going to be a snell knot. So let me zoom in. It's like freaking elementary, guys. We're going back to like freaking elementary for this. All right. Zoom in. There you go. So, you know, that. Okay. Then take this, move forward, or you can actually move back. Okay. So that's from the front. And then you move back towards the, what do you call this? The loop that you formed. So at least 4. At least we can do more. Okay. So once you have that, this is like commercial fishing too, because my wife loves to eat fish, and they have this dish that requires small fish because they said that the smaller fish taste better. I don't eat it because it smells awful to me. But she loves it. And guess what, guys? I'm gonna keep her happy. So, I'm gonna catch these smaller fish for her. They call it paksiw. It's cooked in vinegar and stuff. I don't know. It's like, for me, it smells horrible. You know. Okay. Always make sure to tighten that. Okay. Now, here's the kicker. Now, normally, when you do fish finder rigs, what you want is for this thing to actually be long. Because what you want is for this to basically swim around or float around, right? For this instance, for this particular rig, guess what? I'm going to make it like short. Ouch! Jesus H. So it's going to be short. It's going to be just like that. Okay? So give yourself an allowance. Right? So it's going to be like, whoa. Okay? It's going to be short. About 4 inches or so. Because these fish live really close to the bottom. Right? And look, it could be any knot really, so it doesn't matter what knot you put on there, tell you honestly. Okay, so if you're comfortable with a snell knot, go not a snell but like a clinch knot, go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter, you're not catching like super big stuff, right? But what's important here is that you actually have a thicker leader, because guess what? That's gonna take the a lot of the punishment. Also, this is mono, this is fluorocarbon, the long bit. Okay. Now the reason why I'm doing fluorocarbon for the longer bit is because it sinks. This will float. Okay. So on the bottom, it's not going to be completely down. It's actually going to float around like that. Okay. This sinks, which ensures that it's always going to be in the seabed. Well, this one kind of floats around, but it's just gonna be like a few inches off the bottom. Hey, what's up, Brett? Holy crap! I didn't even know that there's like a what do you call this? S-Dig fish and med. Follow your tips and bought my first JDM good reel, 25 Saltiga 300. I'm in the Mediterranean Sea. We usually fish from 90% of the time. We use jigs and mostly live bait or dead bait. Cool, man. Hope it serves you well. Um, you can never go wrong with Daiwa or Shimano. All right, so this particular one's actually done. So very simple, short. Look, the brim I'm gonna be catching at the very most that size. Okay, a lot of them are like this size and that size. Okay, so dead shrimp, like chop up the shrimp and then that's it. But um, I use scissors instead of knives. Okay, by the way, very fast, and also a very good way to recycle your old scissors. So instead of actually using a knife to cut it, if you use scissors, it's not only fast, but you don't have to pay throw away a good pair of scissors. You know, uh, you could use it as your bait scissors, and then all you have to do, especially if it's stainless, you just wipe it off. So I have quite a few of my old fly tying scissors that were actually pretty good. So I'm gonna use that. But tomorrow, that's that. Okay. Now another rig I use, and hold on, let me see if I have the material. I actually do. Okay. I'm gonna be making like a small sabiki. I'm gonna show you guys. And this material is like from the fly tying days. It's like small stranded material. Okay. Shite. I have to look for hooks. I think the good hooks are actually outside. So crap. Um, Let me see if I have like small stuff here. But it's like a small sabiki, basically, four hook, and it's designed specifically for this sort of fish that I found was swimming there. So, oh, it's the fly tying hook. Where are my fly tying hooks? Yeah, over there. No. Ah, oops, not there. Still too big. But a few months ago, I actually no, it was last year. I shared like this. I shared this rig that an old man taught me, right? And that was the rig. That was the rig. Here it is. So I should have like small hooks here that I could use, like super tiny. Nope, they're all too freaking big, man. If I find the right hooks. But what it is, it's just like a 4 or 5 hook sabiki, and designed specifically for these fish, right? These particular fish. And I wonder if I could actually use these smaller hooks that I have. But these are like silver dollars, like small silver dollars. And those fish are really tasty. When I was a kid, I remember my mom and my dad buying those, and we'd make soup, right? So when I saw the fish there, I'm pretty sure it's not eaten elsewhere except in the Philippines. We call them sup sup, at least in my language. But these small suckers, right? Um, there's a lot of them. Usually, when they're around an area, they're like a crap load of them. Okay, that'll work, maybe. Shite. Okay, so the hooks are outside. I have to look for them. Probably gonna do that, but I can't leave you guys hanging, so I'm gonna have to go offline. Right, I'm alone here as well. The girls left to do some groceries, but I'm determined to actually make this sabiki rig. So I'm gonna go offline, and then maybe I can go back and show you guys later. Or if not, I can. I don't see. I know that in OBS, like in another streaming platform thing, you can actually go offline, and you know, like I don't know, guys. I mean, okay, let me ask you guys this: would you find like would you find it's essentially almost like fishing for bait? Would you find that interesting? I mean, would you want to watch? Because if you guys want to see exactly how I do it, I'd film. I don't mind. It's just that it's so boring, right? Because what it is just like bait fishing, and then and from time to time you actually catch something decent, like fish like that. But that's it. It's not. It's not like mind blowing and shit. So I don't know if see me fishing. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see if I can film. It's also the heat, right? And the GoPro is like it was it was. Well, I have to adjust it now. Actually, now that I remember, but we'll see. If I can film tomorrow, then I'll film it. I have to be there really early, um, like dark, and then um, this thing, man. Why is it like okay? So, oh, it's 12. Okay, and then 7:34. Seven. I'm not gonna be fishing for anything big. That's the problem. I'm fishing for like small stuff. We'll watch whatever you do, mate. That shit. I'ma do. I'ma do like porn, Brett. Fish porn. Yeah, but you know what? There's actually this place actually has some potential. I was kind of surprised, to tell you honestly. Actually, quite surprised that what do you call this? That this place had some some fish, so to speak. That I mean, hold on, linear. Okay, without fish eye. There we go. 60, not 60. Do it 30. So I'm just adjusting this so that I don't have to worry about shit tomorrow. because this thing actually, it several times it actually kind of shut down. So that was kind of annoying. So several times I tried to film with it, and for some weird reason, it just yeah, all right. If yeah, sure. Let's see if I can make it happen. And also, I'm actually trying to see if I can catch a mackerel there as well. So my wife said she wanted mackerel, so I'm gonna try and catch a king mac. And then there's some fish there, like a certain type of brim. Um, you know what? Let me get a book that would tell me exactly which brim it is. So this thing, right? And it's all of the fish here. So I'll tell you guys exactly what brim it is, because um, it annoys me that I kind of don't know. But there's a shitload of them there, and there's fish to catch. Like they don't grow too big, you know. They don't grow too. Oh, what is this? So this is big ice cat, haram. There's like an Arabian scad. So this is like for aji fishing. Sima. There we go. Haramu is the big ice scad. And then there's Arabian scad. I think this is what's called umma here. Herring scad, yellowtail scad, jish. What's that? Yeah, I mean there's some interesting fish here too. Um, and like freaking queenfish, man. Holy shit, these guys are like rats. I freaking hate them. There's like a lot. Okay, here it is. So the striped ponyfish, that's what I'm after. Yeah. Okay, so these fish are not that big. Okay, it's like 21 cm. What is that in inches? I don't think they're that big. 8 inches? Like that's huge for this fish. But no, most of the time they're like, like this big. So there's the mohara, which I catch a lot of. Um, subaiti, that's what I want to catch. Croaker. Um, what is that? I know it's here. So that particular one, the ponyfish, that's one, and they're usually like that big. So I caught one, and I'm gonna make like this contraption for them. It's like guaranteed that if they're around, you'll name them. Okay. Nope. Where the heck are they? Okay. I have to be at the brim because these are like classified, right? So okay, now we're closer to the brim. This one right here, Gabet. Gold lined sea brim. I was right. So it's a gold lined sea brim, right? Um, hold on. Let's see if there's something else that's okay. Quarantine. Well, it's not. It's okay. So quarantine. That's also something quite similar to that, but I don't think it is a quarantine actually. Okay, so these are already snappers. Um, all right. So there it is. This is the one. This is the one. That's the one. That's the one I'm after. All right. So this is the gold lined sea brim. There we go. I remember now. It is. That's correct. Right. So this particular fucker right here, 60 cm. That's not. That's not correct. I don't think they reached like 60 cm. Like 23 inches. That's impossible. No, I've never seen them that big. But like these guys right here, okay, there's a lot of them that are that like that, and my wife loves eating this fish, so tomorrow this is like the target, and then there's like a lot of them that are like this, and most of the fish that we see in the market is just like that, so like, 4 or 5 inches. So yeah, but I mean, gold lined sea brim and it's like 60 centimeters, that's impossible. I've not seen anything over 6 inches. But this quarantine, okay, um, also similar, right? Quite similar to how it looks, but the nose is not the same. So gold lined sea brim, and these suckers, they eat a lot of the what's this, the where should I put this, because this is a good reference for you. There we go. So they eat a lot of sand fleas. So I catch a lot of sand fleas and try for those. It usually works. But all right, so I'm gonna look for hooks outside in my stash out there. Alrighty, and then I'm gonna come back here. But I can't leave you guys hanging, so we'll see if I can go back online after. Okay. So I'm gonna end this here for now. Alrighty, boys, and then we'll see. We'll be filming tomorrow because I'm also going there to actually do videos for retrieves. You know, I have some, but what I want to do is actually get a different perspective. So I'm gonna use a tripod and do that. Different retrieves for different types of lures and stuff. And I know there's a lot of people that's putting a lot of mysticism in this sort of thing, how they retrieve lures, and they think it's so freaking unique. But all it is, okay, um, if you're able to it's not an easy retrieve, okay? And I think if you actually know this retrieve, or learn it properly, okay, you'd be able to do anything as far as like manipulating lures is concerned. Hey, Charlie. I just what do you call this? I just saw your comment. Man, there are a lot of people now. Actually, or earlier, there's only two left. But anon, yeah, paksiw, you know. Uh, but yeah, okay. So retrieve, right? That's the next video that I'm going to be working on, and there are a lot of people that try to like make it sound so mystifying and stuff. But um, listen, if you want to learn how to manipulate lures, like jigging, okay, jigging, shore jigging and stuff like that, one piece of advice that I can give you to make you not only good but fucking excellent. Okay, learn how to walk the dog. You know, um, and I don't mean just learn how to walk the dog. Okay, now um, learn how to walk the dog, cast it out real far. Okay, retrieve it like walking. Okay, up until your rod tip. Okay, and that's no bullshit because the closer the lure is to your rod tip, the harder it would be for you to walk the damn thing. And a lot of people actually don't walk it all the way to their rod tip. They actually only walk it up until, like, a little distance away, and then after that they would reel it in. But learn how to walk it from the start of the cast all the way to your rod tip. And that's probably one of those things that I can freaking show you guys tomorrow, because it if it's really close, it's gonna be so freaking hard to what do you call this? Uh, it's gonna be so difficult to actually keep it, like, moving. But if you're able to do that towards your rod tip, and like at the rod tip, like really make it walk. Guess what? That unlocks pretty much all the retrieves in the world. Like literally all the retrieves in the world, and all it is just variation. Okay, because it's like this: there are retrieves that are literally just retrieves, right? And there's so much that you could do with that, a straight retrieve. And then the what do you call this, the walk, the jigging like that, that's just a freaking walk the dog with the rod tip up. And guess what, that's shore jigging, right? You go sideways, also different, because it's a fucking rod, dude. All right, so um there we go. Okay, so retrieves, right? Writing. So you have retrieving like that. Okay. Variation for that would be just like cadence, right? And then sideways. It's no different from that. Sideways is only longer, right? Because swinging your rod, okay, or manipulating your rod from here to here when you're jerking it, okay. Watch sideways, okay. See your arc, it's longer than that. And I think this is something that we actually need to be here for, like in the office instead of there. So there's a, because you could go boom, right? So from here, if you move your rod tip sideways like that, that's a longer arc or a bigger arc, right? And then manipulating your rod so that your rod tip is low also changes how a lure behaves. Going like that makes a lure behave a different way. Now, what a lot of people think is that, like take for example in the case of Mr. Lumata, the basic stuff. There's 4 retrieves he shows, right? And then he goes like straight retrieve. He doesn't even go with the straight retrieve. But the thing is, like one pitch jerk. Okay, what do you think that is? That's walk the dog, man. You know, and guess what? When you're doing that to a jig, right? When you're doing that to a jig, it does a zigzag underwater. Okay, like that. Okay, it's the same thing as this. Okay, but instead of actually having your jig go sideways, it actually goes like that. With the nose tip up, and its trajectory when you're going sideways like that, what happens is that it stays close to the water. Whereas if you actually have your rod tip up and go like this, it would have the nose pointing up, but it's still gonna zigzag, right? So that's a variation. It's the same thing. Now, when you're working stick baits, You cast it out, you reel with a slack. Okay, and this is we're talking about this so preliminary on this. This is like nothing. What do you call this? Uh, it's not a formal video. That's it. But I'm just kind of explaining things, right? So with the stick bait, especially with the floating stick bait, to make it swim properly, you have to have slack on the line, and you're reeling on that slack. You know, but guess what that is? It's still walk the dog. It's a variation of the walk the dog. So for me, that's just one retrieve. Um, XG for stick baits because you'll reel in less. Instead of actually reeling in fast and stuff, you reel in less to get that wind, and then boom, when you're working the what do you call this? So generally, when you're doing um, say small cup poppers, long slim poppers and stuff, and then stick baits, XG. You know, like poppers would be HG, right? Because it has a little bit more resistance, and then what you want to do is to be able to actually still have a little bit of have control when you're working the popper. Um, what else is there? Like a straight retrieve, right? A straight retrieve, you could do high angle, okay, and then he puts it separately, Mr. Numata. You cast out. He said like skipping it. Like, dude, that's a straight retrieve, and then you can slow down. You can actually have it subsurface, and then you let it sink, and they reel it in. It'll swim, right? So that's just a straight retrieve. So for me, there's literally only two types of retrieves. A hopping retrieve, which is literally walking the dog and its variations, and then a straight retrieve and its variations. Yeah, that's the thing. The main thing is the equipment, because your equipment actually gives you like a different effect. Like take for example, an faster reel would probably make it easy for your cadence when it comes to like your walk the dog. But again, this is something I want to do like in the water, and then I'll show you guys, how to walk the dog and stuff, and that's very important. Now, the best lure to do that would be a Zara spook. If you don't know what that looks like, it's like this one right here. That's it. Okay, this in itself, it doesn't have action on its own. You reel this in, and all it is just go straight. But if you know how to manipulate this, it's actually zigzags. You know, um, and still today, this is like literally one of the best lures you could ever buy. But guess what? A lot of people don't freaking buy it, and I never run out of those things. I have them like super tiny up to like I make them like really big. Um, and it's one of the reasons why I have a lathe machine. It's just to make those, like really big ones, and they work. Like they work on they work on anything from trevally, GT, freaking tuna. I've caught a lot on walk the dog minnows, and you know you have to. It's one of those things I really believe you actually have to learn how to work them, because guess what, everything from soft plastics, metals, spoons, every single freaking lure, if you know that retrieve, it's just a variation of the walk the dog. Okay, now you can also, and there's so much variation with the walk the dog, you can do it really fast. Okay, so this has a rattle. Okay, so imagine this just going like this. Okay, like super fast, but the movement, you see how fast it is going forward, very slow, right? But imagine from here, it's going like that and it's hardly moving forward. That's a very difficult advanced technique for this thing. Okay, um, like long, like that, but fast. That's so easy. What it is literally like this. Yeah, it's like that. You know, it's still again walk the dog. Have a nice evening. Maybe out of topic. Any tips for mid strolling with soft plastic baits? Have a problem with lure going straight and no movement. What sort of soft plastic are you using, and what sort of weight? You have jig heads. You have what type of? I mean, if you're using jig heads, then it could be as easy as just swapping heads. Okay, I'm gonna get like a good example for you to actually get. Like these Raid Japan Super Fish Roller. Okay, hold on. Let me see that. Raid Japan. Okay, is this a soft plastic? Okay. It's a jerk minnow. Let me load this, okay? It's loading. Loading really slow. Okay. Let me see this. I'm not familiar with the soft plastic, but it should be like one of like 7 standard shapes. Why is it so freaking slow? The internet is so slow. I don't know why. Okay, so it's a pintail. All right. So you're not getting. Yeah. Okay, I got it. So, what sort of hook are you using? And jig head, or how are you fishing it for you to actually say that it's it's not moving? Because that could be the issue. To tell you honestly, it's the hook that you're mounting it on. It's not. It's mostly the actually, but I can recommend something for you if you want. You can look for this and yeah. Okay, all of you see the head. All right, so it's a triangular head and a lot of what do you call this? Skin hooking with jig head round type. Okay, so the round heads don't give you a lot of what do you call this? A lot of action. So this is from decoy. Okay, so this will give you like movement, right? Like super good movement. But there are it's not just this obviously, but if you look at the shape of the jig head, okay, and you look for that type of jig head, you'll find that it's going to be very easy to like have it dart. Very easy. In fact, with the retrieve I was saying earlier, just cast it out and then just jerk, just like that, walking the dog again, and guess what? It'll go boom, 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 boom. And then you rig two of these, okay, two of these in different lengths. It'll go like this. Uh, this one decoy. So they have a lot of brands. Decoy certainly would have it. What else? Shout, I believe, has them. Gamakatsu, Owner, those brands. But remember, it's triangular. Okay, And I'll show you. Okay, so this is from Berkeley, not like this. Okay, so you can see that, not like that. Even this, not like this. Okay, not like this. It has to be with a flat bottom. Okay, so that's, hold on. Let me focus this so that you can see. Okay. Mm, there. So that's the shape. So flat bottom is very important. It gives it the planing surface for it to actually move. And oh man, you know what? Straight shaft, also no bulge. You mean for the hook itself? Here? Here? Yeah. It shouldn't have, like, it has like a keeper like that. Okay. So like even the Berkeley ones have that, you know. See? So not like this. Ouch. See? That that will actually make your soft plastic bulk up and no good. Okay, so with this, okay, like take for example this, if I put this on like that, this soft plastic will not deform, it's gonna be straight like that. It won't have like a weird bulge in the body, and that's very very important. Okay, so here, check this out. Wait, you know what, let me get that other one here. All right, so see, it has a lot of dog hair. So let me clean this up for you. Okay, so I'm gonna show you so that you can see. Okay, so just so it satisfies your curiosity. So you see that, right? I'm gonna mark that so I know where it goes out. Okay, now let's put it on. And you'll see that you know it's not okay. That's too much there. Hold that. You'll see that. See, it doesn't look like it's bulking up, so you can see that it's just straight. I did a shoddy job there, but this body is used there. See, it's not pressing on this and making it bulge, right? So when I use this now, okay, this is gonna literally just you know yeah, no deforming. So this is why it's so good, you know um, but yeah, this is a decoy, just for your info. It's a decoy, and there are several weights, you know hello Ed. So yeah, check that out. And also look for these like small senkos. These are dynamite, man. You know, like here's a really good one actually. Right, you have stuff like this, and then when you rig it onto um, heads like these. Okay, look at the body. It's so slim. Yeah, it's so slim. So I'm gonna try and rig this properly. Okay, just so you can see. See, it doesn't make the body like weird. You know, it doesn't deform. So it ends up swimming well. Okay, and believe it or not, that will catch a tuna right there. So um, these jig heads, Japanese. What can I say? You know, more. What do you call this? More precise when it comes to the approach. Yeah. So if I put this on a an ordinary jig head, this would probably like deform and it's not gonna swim like super nice. But with this sort of things, they will swim really nice because you know the what do you call this? The hook keeper is not going to destroy it, and probably better for the Stacy. Like again, same type without the bulk and everything, and it's something that I've been using for a really long time. It's very effective. I like these two, you know, from. I mean, look, I've used it, right? So these are from Berkeley, but Jesus H man, it's good for some. For some, it's not, and I like the shape of the head, but I don't like this part right here because it breaks the soft plastic. It's kind of dumb, you know. And this they sell this in the Australian market, I believe. Not so much in the US, but man, you know, it's just terrible. Like how it the damage that it does to the soft plastic before it even gets used. They always use the jig head that is designed for the individual soft plastic. No, I mix and match. Um, no, no. You know, there are people that are so pedantic about stuff like that. For me, I look at the weight, you know, and then there are some jig heads that actually move differently, you know. So for me, it kind of depends on the use, you know. So if I see that I can use it for you know a certain body, then I'll use it. Otherwise, you know, I mean, like, I'm not too fuzzy about that. Put it that way. All right, listen, I'm gonna have to go offline because I need to find some hooks there that I need for tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be able to film. But I'll see you guys. Okay.